Time now for this week's Goofy Award. I know there's lots to choose from. I mean, I can't get past the government's not going to table a budget, but I'm going to go to something bigger. Arguably, the biggest takeaway from the federal election is this: millions of Canadians don't think a government's or MP's track record really matters. Now, others do. I think that's perhaps the sharpest political divide in the country today. I mean, simply put, some voters value accountability. For others, that's not a priority. Millions of Canadians are stunned that the Liberal Party's 10-year record mattered so little to so many of their fellow Canadians. I don't think there's any bridging this divide, by the way. Expect it to shape the tone, the tension of the political debate for the next 4 years. I mean, come on, that's already happening with Mark Carney's selection to cabinet of 13 Trudeau-era cabinet ministers. I mean, people like Chrystia Freeland, Champagne, Guilbeault, Anand, and Fraser. Well, they were in high-profile roles under Prime Minister Trudeau. And like the rest of their cabinet colleagues, they supported every policy decision that resulted in arguably the worst economic financial record in Canadian history. And now they want us to pretend that none of it happened? I mean, come on, the disastrous capital gains increase? Poof, forget about it. Oh, what about the carbon tax? Poof, gone. And what's more, they want us to give them credit for it. Arguably, maybe the poster child for this approach is the appointment of Sean Fraser. And he seems like a nice person, by the way, but he presided over two of the biggest disasters that the Liberals themselves are now calling out. As immigration minister, he presided over what Prime Minister Trudeau called the out-of-control immigration/temporary visa programs that played a huge role in the housing and affordable rent crisis, as well as adding further pressure to Canada's social infrastructure like healthcare. From immigration, they then moved him to become housing minister and promised to fix the housing crisis that he played a major role in creating through those immigration problems. The Liberal platform itself called the housing crisis the worst since World War II, although it didn't mention how much it had to do with it. And now Mark Carney passed on the housing file to Gregor Robertson. Clearly, his track record wasn't an obstacle to getting appointed. While serving as mayor of Vancouver 2008-2018, housing prices more than doubled, municipal fees jumped over 140%. And come on, Chrystia Freeland's record as finance minister? Difficult to overlook that under her leadership, the federal government never met a deficit target. And, well, we got the new finance minister, François-Philippe Champagne. Well, he was the main driver of the highly problematic EV battery push that I talked about in the shocking stat. He's also unreservedly supports supply management because they're pandering to 9,000 dairy farmers at the expense of 42 million Canadians. And the devastating impact of the poor is ignored. There's other examples, but you get the point. As I said, some voters care about track record, while others, including Prime Minister Carney, clearly don't. But here's the big question we should be thinking about. What are the consequences of saying that government performance doesn't count in a country where about half the economy is government? That's all the time we have this week. And again, I want to thank people for the help that they've given, whether it's sponsoring, different holes we've got, many of our friends on Money Talks. Also, many of the people who've stepped up or companies that stepped up with auction items. I'm thinking like the Seal family at Blueberry Junction in Abbotsford. They're donating 60 pounds of blueberries. I bet my wife bids on that one. We got the Weston Bayshore where we hold the World Outlet Conference. Well, they're donating a night's stay there. There's other things, and we'll tell you more about them. But my big message is thank you. And if you can help, we'd much appreciate it. We do need more sponsors. We do need more auction items. Simple to do. Go to mikesmoneytalks.ca. And while you're there, why not sign up for 5 Minutes with Mike? In the meantime, I hope you have a terrific week, and I thank you for listening.